Finally, I am in the kingdom of Zamunda, right inside the palace walls, she whispered, low and menacing. A wicked, low laugh escaped her lips. Let us see how you will survive. Her laughter rolled through the dark corridors like distant thunder. Brother! No! Philip screamed, his voice splitting the silence, shaking the walls of the palace.
You're about to hear a story that carries the heart of Africa. Subscribe to African Folktales by MaC-Anison TV, where every week we share rarest African folktales you won't find anywhere else. Your subscription is the fuel that inspires us to bring you the very best of our storytelling heritage. In every kingdom there comes a dawn when the earth itself stops breathing. When a king's rage becomes a storm and the fate of nations trembles before his voice. For in Gaku, power did not sit on the throne. It roared from it. The torches of the great throne room flickered like frightened spirits as the king of Gaku summoned every warrior within the palace walls. The obsidian pillars rose beside him like silent witnesses, carved with the stories of their forefathers, stories of triumph, betrayal, and blood. Warriors marched in, armor clashing like thunder, their shadows stretching long across the marble floor. When the last man took his place, the room fell into a heavy silence. The king rose, and when he rose, it was as though the earth shifted beneath him. A man's height is measured by his shadow in moments of war. And on this day the king's shadow stretched like a mountain. His voice exploded across the hall. "My warriors, soldiers of the great kingdom of Gaku," he thundered, "we have an enemy we will not allow to walk free." Gasps, whispers, trembling breath, then silence again. The king's fists tightened, his jaw hardened. "You all witnessed it," he growled. "Prince Philip of Zamunda defeated us on the battlefield, stole our men, our women, our children. He took our gold, our inheritance." A warrior clenched his spear so tightly the wood cracked. Another bit his lip until blood touched his tongue. The king stepped forward, his eyes blazing. "Some of those men are your brothers. Some of those women, your wives. Those children, they carry our blood." Pain, anger, hatred. The air thickened. "Shall we sit and watch them triumph over us?" The warriors roared like angry lions. "No, we shall not let this happen." The king smiled darkly, proudly. "Good, because we shall do to them what they did to us." His voice grew deeper, older, filled with ancestral fire. "They took our men. They took our women. They took our children. Now we shall take theirs." A hush swept the room. An ancient proverb echoed in the minds of all. The hand that steals the goat must be ready to face the owner's spear. The king raised his fist high. "An eye for an eye, a life for a life, no weakness." The soldiers roared again. "We shall not be weaklings." The king's mantle fluttered behind him as he stepped off the throne and walked among them, one man among an army, yet a storm within himself. "Prepare, sharpen your blades, fasten your armor. Tonight, we reclaim our honor and take back everything." The roar shook the pillars. And so the warriors of Gaku marched. The night has no tongue, but it carries the cries of the doomed. Under the cover of silence, Gaku's warriors invaded Zamunda like shadows born from rage. Houses burned. The sky glowed red. Screams shattered the peace of midnight. Prince Philip shot upright from his bed, heart racing. Outside, his people were being slaughtered. "What have I done?" he whispered, choking on regret. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "I was blinded by my greed, and now I cannot protect them." The fires grew. Children were dragged away. Mothers clawed at the dirt, screaming their children's names. Men were beaten, bound, taken. When a man plants thorns, he must be ready to walk barefoot. Zamunda had never seen such chaos. Philip's warriors, few that remained, were slaughtered. Men, women, children,
save us!
all taken.
Help us!
Far away, Prince Arthur rode across the desert sands, but a cold unease wrapped around his heart.
Do I feel something is wrong?
He whispered. The desert wind didn't answer, but it carried the scent of danger. Arthur lifted his face to the heavens. Gods of my forefathers, protect my people. Let them survive until my return. He struck his horse, riding faster, faster, toward the kingdom. A man chosen by destiny does not walk. He is carried by purpose. As he approached, something miraculous happened. Behind Arthur, the sun rose like a golden crown. Before him, Zamunda drowned in darkness, a perfect contrast of fate. Villagers saw him, a lone figure, the sun at his back, darkness fleeing before him. They fell to their knees, whispering, "The gods walk with him." When Arthur entered the kingdom, the darkness vanished completely. Even Prince Philip, broken, ashamed, felt the miracle. He ran forward, fell to his knees, sobbing. "Arthur, forgive me. I do not deserve to live beside you." Arthur lifted him gently. "You are my brother, my twin, my better half." Philip shook his head violently. "No, I left you to die. I betrayed everything we were." Villagers cried softly, feeling the pain in both hearts. Arthur wiped Philip's tears. "If I cast you away, who would complete me?" Philip finally collapsed into his brother's arms, trembling. "Forgiveness is the fire that melts the iron chains of regret." Arthur whispered, "Stand, my brother. Rule with me. Together, we will rebuild what was lost." Far away, the king of Gaku celebrated in his dark halls. The battle was only beginning. For when two kingdoms bleed, the gods always demand a greater sacrifice. In the hush between a kingdom's heartbeat and its memory, destiny stirs. For in Africa, they say, when a fire dies, its smoke still carries stories. And on this night, the smoke of Zamunda carried both celebration and warning. A bit later, after Prince Arthur's return, he was crowned the king of the kingdom of Zamunda. The drums roared like thunder rolling across an open savanna. The throne room glowed with golden lamps. Dancers twirled in circles of color. Wine poured like rivers after rainfall. The people sang his name with joy, for they believed peace had finally come home to rest. Joy is loud, but danger often walks in silence. At least, that was what they thought. After Prince Arthur became the king of the kingdom of Zamunda, he started going to neighboring villages to settle disputes. Before this time, other kingdoms would often come to the kingdom of Zamunda to trade, and the kingdom of Zamunda too would go to other kingdoms to trade. Men brought spices, women brought woven cloth, children ran through open markets laughing like free birds. There was life, there was warmth, there was unity. But ever since the war, Prince Philip had gone out to fight wars in different lands, taking their men, women, and children as slaves, and taking their gold, possessions, and lands. And with each kingdom Philip conquered, the shadow he left behind stretched longer across Zamunda. Since then, there had been no peace. King Arthur knew. He felt it like a stone pressing into his chest. He understood, as elders say, a kingdom with too many enemies sleeps with one eye open. Disputes did not make a kingdom whole. They left cracks, cracks where fear could enter. And so he went from one kingdom to another, meeting the kings and talking to them, meeting the chiefs and trying to talk things over. He bowed when he needed to bow. He listened when he needed to listen. He spoke with the weight of a man trying to rebuild what another had shattered. The people in the neighboring kingdom, the kings and chiefs, listened carefully when Prince Arthur spoke. "My king, I understand that your people and my people, the people of the kingdom of Zamunda, have been having some disputes, some misunderstandings. And these misunderstandings have affected us in ways that shouldn't have, if we had treated this matter with love and understanding. When my father, the king, was still alive, there was peace. There was nothing like war. And I intend to follow in the footsteps of my father. We are all a family, irrespective of our different kingdoms. We trade together. We buy. We sell. This is how we grow together, my king. I understand that a lot of things have gone wrong. My kingdom, the people of my kingdom, have offended you, just as yours have offended mine. But let us come together again as one family, just the way we used to. Just like the good old days, my king. For us to be allies and not enemies, together we will emerge stronger. I am not here to showcase my strength, my wisdom, or my rule. I am only here as a king, speaking to another king, seeking peace, seeking a way forward for both our people. The king turned to him and smiled. The chiefs around him smiled too. There was warmth in their eyes, but also something unspoken beneath it. The king spoke. My king, King Arthur, you speak with so much wisdom and confidence. Even if right now you are the strongest man in the whole kingdom, you carry yourself with grace and humility. For your sake, whatever disputes we once had between my people and your people, it is all in the past now. Let us live together. Let us be one again. And just like that, harmony returned like an old friend. The king of Garco accepted King Arthur's apology and released his men, women, children, and goats. And so they were now at peace. Even the calmest river hides its deepest crocodile. But was it really peace? Or was there something beneath it? Something waiting, watching, breathing. Something that had not forgiven and would never forget. They say when a king's heart cracks, even the drums of the kingdom lose their rhythm. And on this night, as the moon hid behind drifting clouds, fate sharpened its blade. That was the whisper the ancestors carried on the wind as the king of the kingdom of Gaku stormed into his chambers, his heavy footsteps thundering like distant war drums. Rage walked beside him, breathing fire into every breath he drew. His sorcerers followed in silence, their robes fluttering like restless shadows. The king's face was carved with fury, his jaw tight, his eyes burning with the kind of pain only a father understands. An ancient African saying echoes, "The wound on a father's heart never sleeps." And truly, his own was wide awake. He turned sharply, voice rising like a spear slicing through the air. "How dare he? How dare King Arthur come to my kingdom to ask us to be allies, after what his brother did to my son?" His voice trembled, not with weakness, but with the heaviness of a man who has carried grief too long. He paced back and forth, fists clenched, breath uneven. "Because of his brother, Prince Philip, I lost my only son. Today I live without a son, no wife, no son, nobody to succeed me after my reign. And King Arthur had the audacity to stand before me and ask for an alliance." His chest rose sharply, agony rising like a tide he could no longer hold back. Will he say he is not aware of what his brother did? Will he say he does not know that my son is no more? He stopped, then whispered in a voice colder than nightfall, "He wants an alliance. Huh. Oh, we will be allies, but I will not rest. Not until I claim the land of Zamunda." His eyes glinted with vengeance. "It will be an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. Until a royal blood is claimed, the fire in my heart will not quench." Silence swallowed the room. And then the sorcerer beside him stepped forward. Her presence was quiet, but powerful, like a flame that knows its strength. She spoke softly, yet her words carried the weight of strategy carved in shadows. "My king, do not worry. I know exactly what we are going to do.
There is no need to fight King Arthur. There are other ways to settle this matter. Her smile was slow, calculated. We will send an ally into Zamunda, someone who will slowly poison Prince Philip. She let out a soft, eerie laugh, one that slithered across the room like mist. Do not worry, my king. If we act as friends, King Arthur will suspect nothing. We will enter quietly and strike even quieter. The king's rage shifted into interest. He leaned forward. Right. You have a point. But who shall we send? Who? The sorcerer stepped into the dim golden glow of the torches, shadows dancing on her face. My king. I will go myself. The king's eyes widened. You? But how? Arthur knows you. He knows you are my sorcerer. He will be suspicious. She laughed, a rich, unnerving sound that echoed like a spell being cast. My king. Have you forgotten who I am? You forget that I can change my face. I can become whoever I choose. I can wear the mask of any being I desire. You underestimate my power. He lowered his head, humbled. Forgive me, my sorcerer. I know what you are capable of. She placed a hand over her heart. Fear not. I know exactly what to do. The only thing you will hear is good news. The king released a wicked, thunderous laugh that shook the chamber walls. Far away in the kingdom of Zamunda, dawn had blessed the land with gentle light. Joy had returned. Traders filled the markets. Children played beneath mango trees. Elders smiled as peace washed over everything like warm rainfall after a long drought. Inside the royal dining hall, King Arthur and Prince Philip sat together. But peace did not sit with Philip. He stared into nothing, face heavy, shoulders slumped, heart torn. Guilt clung to him like a second skin. Arthur noticed immediately. He leaned forward gently. Brother, why do you look so sad? Everything is fine now. What troubles your heart? Speak to me. Philip's breath shook. Tears escaped before the words did. Brother, I do not deserve your love. I do not deserve your forgiveness. His voice cracked like pottery thrown to the ground. You do not know the things I have done. I put this kingdom in great danger. I deserve to leave. Punish me. Banish me, so I may live in peace. Please, punish me. Arthur's heart clenched. He reached out, holding Philip's hand firmly. The past is in the past. The deeds cannot be undone, but we can learn and be better. It is enough that you acknowledge your faults. It is enough. I forgave you long before now. But Philip shook his head, pain rising inside him like a storm. Brother, you don't understand. What if you died in that cave? What if you never came back? Our people suffered because of me. Men enslaved, women taken, children crying, and I did nothing. Because of my greed, our kingdom bled. He stood abruptly, tears falling freely. I cannot walk on these streets. I don't feel like I belong. Punish me. I don't deserve to dine with you. I don't deserve to be here. Arthur's eyes filled with tears, then overflowed, voice trembling with love. So you want to leave me too? Philip froze. Arthur's voice broke. Mother is gone. I have no wife, no children. You are the only one I have. Do you want to leave me too? Is it not enough that we are already orphans? You want me to banish you? Kill you? Then what happens to me? His tears streaked down his face like rain on stone. Do you not know losing you is far worse than anything you have done? I love you, Philip, not for perfection, but for your heart. His voice softened into a whisper. Let the past stay buried. Stay with me. Let us rule together, you and I. We are destined for this. If you leave me, I will be empty. Philip broke. Completely. He rushed forward and pulled Arthur into a tight, trembling embrace. "Brother, I love you. Forgive me." Arthur wrapped his arms around him, voice tender. "Hush. Hush. Everything will be fine." But outside the palace windows, far away in the shadows of the world, a sorcerer was already preparing to change her face, and destiny was sharpening its claws. In every kingdom, light walks, but so does the shadow that envies it. Those were the ancient words whispered in the halls of Zamunda as the night wind curled through the royal dining chamber, carrying with it a strange chill, one that felt like a warning dressed as a breeze. In Africa, they say, when the wind changes suddenly, a traveler is arriving, or a secret is. King Arthur and his brother continued having dinner, unaware that destiny was already standing outside their gates. Then, the doors burst open. The guards stormed in, their sandals scraping against the polished marble floor. But it was the sight behind them that stole the breath from the room. A young lady stood between them. She was breathtaking, so beautiful it almost felt unnatural. Her rags clung to her soaked body, black garments torn like memories of a past she couldn't escape. Water dripped from her hair onto the floor as if the storm itself had escorted her. The head guard stepped forward and bowed deeply. "Long live the King of Zamunda." King Arthur lifted his gaze slowly, the golden torchlight reflecting in his eyes.
Who is she?
He asked. The head guard replied, his voice steady but cautious. "My king, we saw her wandering around the village begging. She even stole bread from the baker's shop. The villagers gathered to beat her, but we intervened and brought her here." King Arthur studied her face. Her beauty was disarming, her eyes soft with innocence. But deep within her gaze, something flickered like a dying flame, or a hidden fire. He leaned forward slightly. "My dear, who are you? And why are you wandering around the kingdom of Zamunda? Why did you steal bread? If you had asked, I believe the baker would have given it to you. What is your name?" The maiden slowly raised her head. Her voice trembled like a cracked flute. "Long live my king. I am Zahara. I come from the northern part of the kingdom. My kingdom is in chaos. Almost everyone is dead. There has been a war for days. We were invaded by another kingdom. Many were taken captive. I was lucky to escape. I wandered into Zamunda without knowing where I was. I was hungry. I haven't eaten in 7 nights. Please forgive me, my king. I did not mean to trespass." The hall fell silent. King Arthur's heart softened instantly. Compassion washed over his features. "It's okay. You are safe now." His voice carried the weight of a true king, gentle yet firm. "What do you want us to do for you?" Zahara clasped her hands tightly, fighting back tears. "My king, I have no other place to go. My husband was killed in the war. My child died. Our home burned down. I am the only one left. Please, give me shelter in your kingdom. I am willing to work as a maid. I can do anything. Just please do not send me away. My life is in danger." She broke into heartbreaking sobs. King Arthur inhaled deeply. In Africa, they say, a heart that feels pain recognizes pain. And in that moment, he felt hers. "It's okay. Don't cry. You are welcome in the kingdom of Zamunda. Whether you are from here or a faraway land, we are all brothers and sisters. You are safe." He turned to the guard. "Take her to the maid chambers. Clean her up. Give her dry clothes and food." "Yes, my king." They escorted her away, but the silence she left behind was heavy, too heavy. King Arthur stared after her, brows tightening. Prince Philip leaned closer. "My king, are you okay?" Arthur's voice dropped into a whisper. There is something uneasy about that girl. I do not understand why I feel strange about her, but there is something. Philip smiled faintly, trying to ease him. My king, it could be because she is a stranger. You have never met her. But look at her. She seems so innocent, like someone who cannot even hurt a fly. But King Arthur shook his head. Let it not be what I'm thinking. I still cannot understand. But watch her. If there is any strange movement, the guards and maids will inform us. The torches flickered, and somewhere in the palace, a shadow moved, quietly, patiently. Because the most dangerous enemies never enter with swords. They enter with tears. The night was heavy, like a beast crouching over the kingdom of Zamunda. Stars hid behind veils of clouds, and the wind whispered forgotten secrets. For in Africa, it is said, a river that forgets its source will dry before the sun sets. Destiny had found its way into the palace that night, in the form of a stranger. And so, Zahara was taken to the maid quarters. She was given dry clothes to wear, food to eat, and a room to sleep in. Gratitude softened her sharp features. She was genuinely happy, or so it seemed. Thank you so very much, she said politely to the chief maid. There was an aura about her, soft, warm, almost magnetic. Even the palace maids felt drawn to her presence the moment they saw her. Something whispered beneath the surface, a subtle unease that the heart could not yet name. The head maid smiled. It's my pleasure. Please have some rest. Tomorrow we will show you around the palace and tell you what to do. Zahara bowed her head. Thank you very much. Thank you. And she went into her room. The night was deep. Silence reigned over the palace, but Zahara did not sleep. She perched on the edge of her bed, eyes gleaming with a cold, calculated fire. Finally, I am in the kingdom of Zamunda, right inside the palace walls, she whispered, low and menacing. A wicked, low laugh escaped her lips. Let us see how you will survive. Her laughter rolled through the dark corridors like distant thunder. The next morning, Zahara was shown around the palace and trained in her duties. She worked diligently, washing, sweeping, cleaning, obeying without complaint. Even the head maid began to like her. Word reached King Arthur. The girl from yesterday is coping very well. Respectful. Obedient. For a moment he felt relief, but that unease, it lingered, curling like smoke in his chest. Something about her unsettled him, something not right. Prince Philip had just returned from training. His armor clattered as he removed it, body aching, mind weary. A soft knock broke the rhythm of his exhaustion. He opened the door. Zahara stood there, breathtaking, radiant, and terrifying in her stillness. For a heartbeat, time itself faltered, and Philip's breath caught in his chest. My prince, she said softly, bowing, voice like honey wrapped in steel. I brought tea for you. I saw you return from the field. You must be exhausted. Please, have some tea. He took the cup and placed it beside his bed. Thank you, Zahara, he said. She bowed again, then disappeared silently, leaving a trail of perfume and quiet unease. Minutes later, King Arthur entered. They embraced like brothers, sharing warmth and laughter born from shared childhoods. Oh, brother, you're here, Philip said, eyes lighting up. Yes, brother. How was training today at the field? Philip sank onto the bed. It was fine, just exhausting. Arthur's gaze fell on the teacup. He smiled, lifting it casually. You have tea by your side. Can I have a seat? Philip laughed. Brother, you haven't changed. You always like eating from my plate and drinking from my cup. Arthur laughed loudly. Oh, brother, if I don't eat from your plate and drink from your cup, whose plate will I eat from? Their laughter echoed across the room, innocent, nostalgic, a fragile bubble of safety. Arthur lifted the teacup, took a sip, swallowed, and set it down. Nice. Nice tea. Philip laughed again. Brother, you finished my tea! Arthur chuckled. Come on, you can always get another one. They laughed once more, remembering hunting, fishing, and running through the woods together. Then, it happened. A sharp pain gripped Arthur's chest. He gasped, eyes wide. Breath betrayed him. Before Philip could react, before he could even move, Arthur collapsed to the floor. Brother! No! Philip screamed, his voice splitting the silence, shaking the walls of the palace.